Welcome folks, in this episode we're finally getting the ramp. Stay tuned. So it's been a bit of a wait. It is now March. I've been waiting since December for a ramp, and the story being was I was going with the company that supplied my ramp in the other garage, and they were going to come and fit it. Now I've been kind of held up with delays. Every time I want to order one it's not in stock, and then I'm getting told 6 weeks, so I wait 6 weeks, and then I phone them again, oh no, it's another 6 weeks, and I've just eventually, well, we're 3 months down the line now, and I've just decided to go somewhere else. So very similar ramp, only thing is they don't offer fitting, just delivery. So watched a couple of YouTube videos and I'm pretty confident we can assemble this ramp. So it's arriving in a couple of days time, so kind of midweek. So today is the Sunday, and today I'm just going to do a little bit of decoration in the garage. So I've got some flags down here that I just want to put around about these walls. It'll be easier before there's a ramp in. So yeah, got 10 flags. I think they're 1.5 metre long by 90 centimetres wide. So that's what I'm doing today. So I've got my laser set up just for the top of the screw holes I want to put round, and we've got the flags hung, and then in the next couple of minutes the ramp will arrive and we'll just start getting it assembled.
Dancing all these tears away. No time for bad love. I'm dancing all these fears away. Don't need you.
Well, I think that looks pretty good. So you probably noticed I took some of them back down and moved them around, and that was because some of them came with the ringlets along the bottom. So these 4 came with ringlets, and they're just maybe just about an inch shorter than the other ones. So put them all together and then come round the other ones over here, and they're all pretty much the same size now, and doesn't look as if they're stepping up and down too much. So yeah, nice way to brighten the place up. I've also got these glass cabinets. I've got 4 of them. I just bought used. I hadn't really realised that they were a bit tatty, kind of round about the tops here. So a little bit of remedial work there to fix these up, and the plan is to put them along this wall somewhere just to display some model cars, little trinkets, Nismo stuff that I've got packed away in drawers. And I'm going to do that once the ramp's in place, because the ramp's doesn't actually get bolted down to the floor, so I can move it around a little bit. But I think I'm going to start it just at the start of this grey tile there, so it's like 40 centimetres off the wall, and then the ramp, and I think it comes to kind of about here, roughly about there. But as I say, depending how, I also need to be able to drive in and onto it, so I might be able to move it left or right a little bit, and it kind of dictates where these are going. So I'll keep the glass cabinets out of the way just now, and once we get the ramp built up, I'll just kind of decide where they're going. It's got a couple of little things to put on the walls and stuff. I've got lots of kind of car stuff. I've got that bonnet, Nismo exhaust. I'd like to have them on the walls, but eventually they'll get sold anyway, so I'll maybe just leave them in storage until then. So yeah, next thing you see is the ramp. Well guys, I'm buzzing, I didn't expect that first thing this morning. So nice neat little compact package. Everything's bolted to these kind of frames here, so I'm sure, I mean the weather should be okay today. I'll get it all unbolted later and get it lifted in. But yeah, very happy and excited to get a start. Right, it's been a long day at work, so I'm just going to get cracked on with this because I'm excited. So I've got 24mm spanner, 24mm socket, Stanley knife to try and unwrap this thing. I reckon these are the posts. I should be able to maybe lift one at a time then myself. The big long bits are the ramps, and I'm definitely going to need a hand with them. But if I can dismantle the top section, hopefully my good lady will be back in time. She can give us a little hand just to lift them in out inside, sorry, just so that they're out of the weather. But yeah, hopefully it goes easy. That's me at my limit of what I can lift, so let's see what's in the boxes. Big control unit, the fluid for the fluid container, oil, which I think is in that box there. This is one set of instructions that I'm not throwing away. So, blocks, I remember seeing them on the video, so that spaces out these little ladder sections here go inside each column. And I think that's what these get used for. Maybe wrong. Maybe they're for ramp to go up and down on. Hence why instructions. Right, this will be fun. It looks as if it's a very comprehensive fitting kit anyway, which is nice. I know that's the stops for the back of the ramp, I know that. I'm not sure, I think that's a bracket maybe for the control unit to go in. Control box. Let's see this one. Alright, okay. I'm pretty sure that's the fluid that's in the hydraulic oil stuff. Right, I just had to lie down the floor there and stretch my back out. That was these two pieces, deceptively heavy. I actually thought these bits and these columns, with the weight that was in them, I thought, well, these bits will be manageable, but oh my god, we were wrong. Thank you very much, Katie, for giving me a hand. I don't know how I'd have done it without you. I like the colour, it matches the grey walls, which was just coincidence, because the last ramp I was going to get, as I say, was a different colour altogether. So I'm quite happy this ended up the grey. So yeah, I'm going to have to eat my Weetabix in the morning. We're building this, but yeah, for yours, I'll just be a few seconds. That's it set out size wise, the 4 posts, and it doesn't take up that much room. And obviously when the cars are on it, cars might overhang a little bit, but yeah, still can walk up this way if I need to. And this side here, there's plenty of room up here. Even if I put my cabinets, it will come out 40 centimetres, still plenty of room to walk up there. This, by all means, is not the in final position for this. I'm just needing to get the exact size so that these bars fit in. But yeah, I was trying to keep it to the left because of the ceiling, keep it to the left so that the car could go up higher. But obviously I need to keep it in line with the door, so when the car comes in, it's in line with the door. It's small enough that this one overhangs the door, so fingers crossed I've got those sizes right, but says it in the instructions. So next I need to put, I think, these kind of locking channels in each one, and once they're in, then this is when these get lifted up and into it. But I don't think there's much chance of me lifting them myself accurately in there, so I'll do a little bit more and then I'll call it a bye. So the flooring, I doubt this flooring's rated for this ramp to sit on top of it, so what I'll do is when I've decided my final position, I'll cut out the squares and let the ramp sit onto the concrete. Unless I might contact Tough Tile, but I wouldn't like to chance it. We'll wait and see, there's plenty of spread on it, but the tiles do touch the floor. Basically every single bit that you see of the tile touches the floor somewhere or another. So yeah, right, I'll set it back in time lapse. I'll try and get these little gold laddery things in. Well, thank you Stuart and Jamie for popping in and give us a hand with those heavy ramp pieces. So what was tricky about it? I fucked up and I put this round the wrong way, so I had to unbolt it. That was probably the hardest bit because, as you've probably seen, everything started moving about. I had kind of, in my infinite wisdom, assumed that these lips were on both sides of the ramp, so it didn't really matter which way they were lying. I just knew that this one had to be a certain way because of the hydraulic pump in it. But yeah, that's us. Thank you to Katie, Jamie and Stuart for helping us with the heavy pieces. I could now work away on my own, getting everything tied together. Just set up the laser there, guys, and done a quick remeasure, and it is millimetre perfect, which really shocked me because obviously when I screwed these gold ladders in, I just kind of roughly eyeballed it, thinking I'll need to kind of readjust them all. But the bed is sitting millimetre, absolute millimetre perfect. So what I need to do now is just make sure it's square diagonally, and I'll check how plumb these posts are. Hopefully they're alright, because the floor's bang on, but I can't see it. But we'll test it anyway, and just once it's tested we can fix all these bolts down into position nice and tightly. Well, that was fun. So you've probably seen me with these wires here, having to route them all, which was fairly straightforward in where they went, but I'll show you underneath. So to begin with, this piece here, this one, was all the way back. So I had to actually force the ram out to get enough slack to get the wires up and where they needed to be, but it's left me, I've obviously pulled it too far, it's left me with too much slack, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that once we all this little reservoir and do the thing, that it will tighten everything up. And then when we tighten it up, I just need to check all the wires are going round about the kind of pulley system in the right orientation. So yeah, that was fun. I did notice, I think it was this one, for some reason, this little yellow lock thing is flapping about. It should be engaged into one of these, and the rest are all engaged. It's like a twin lock system, I think. So there's a grey one down here that locks in, and then this must lock in as well. So for whatever reason that isn't locked in, so hopefully that fixes itself. Got the bracket on, got the control unit on, and this little lever here. So tomorrow's job is a bit more complicated. It's kind of late at night, so I'm going to leave it to tomorrow or whatever. So it's the hydraulic lines and the electronics side of this. So enough's enough for tonight. I'm just going to get a cup of tea and relax and watch some telly, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. We're getting close to being at the end, but this is probably, in my eyes, the most complicated bit. So we've got some hydraulic lines still to fit. They go from the ram, come along and out into the pump and the container. There's a little return line that goes back. We've got a couple of limit switches that go on the top and the bottom of this post. Electric control board that all needs wired into, a couple of little bits of wire and pipe conduit. And then there's a couple of little covers left. They go on like that, somewhere to cover all that. I think there's some springs to go in first, so I'll need to read up on that. So yeah, a lot of little footery things. But yeah, once they're done, I can try and test it. We're getting there, right? I just thought I'd show you this, or at least document it for myself. So this is how I've wired this little box up here. So all the connections I brought in for the limit switches up here all had little tags. If you see all the little yellow tags, there's numbers on them all, so it was quite easy to correspond to the numbers there. Whereas the two pieces of wire, 4-core piece, and then the piece that I've put in is a 2-core, were for 220 volt, which is what I've got, and there's also an optional 3-phase power, which was getting me confused a little bit because I didn't realise that. So 380, and there's different wiring. Now it shows you in this one exactly where all the wires go, which is nice, all the colours and everything. And then on this one, it just kind of points to them, doesn't really show you where that goes in there. And plus it says blue and brown, which this wire was the older red and black wire, which is fine, but again, I didn't know what it was to do in there, just with that fuzzy picture, so that's what I've done. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's correct. And what have I got to do now? I've just got a main power supply, so from here, so a plug that I can plug it in to give it some power, and then we'll button it all back up. Now they don't supply this power lead, I'm sure I've got one somewhere, or I can fabricate one up, so that's in my next list. And then we'll start getting these little springs on in here and the cover plates, and that'll be it done. Just fill up some oil or some fluid, whatever you call it, pneumatic fluid, and we'll get going.
'Cause I can't wait for you forever.
Right, so I was having a few issues there, mainly because, well, kind of the instructions, but there's also a video for this to install it, and I went back to the video and it showed you. So basically I'd put this small cable here from the control box up into there and wired in as per the instructions, kind of. But then I realised the ramp would go up fine, but I could not get the ramp to come back down, and that's because this little guy here, it's a release solenoid, and that hadn't been wired in. So swap the thin wire to here, wire that in, and put the thick wire into there. I'll maybe contact them because in the instructions it is really not clear about that area. But anyway, got it set up and the ramp goes up and comes down. But on the way down, it was catching on this corner. Every time I was pulling it down, it was catching, everything else was still wanting to drop. And this corner was kind of hanging, and then it would like thud down. Had no idea where it was because the locks were all off. I loosened these off, I kind of put some grease up the sides and everything. Didn't seem to be catching there. But then I realised under here, so you'll see a few scratches here. So this bar, what I joined on, when the lock was on, so when I'm pulling the lever down to release the locks on all four corners, this turns. And when this was turning, it was catching up here. And that is because I put this pole, so there's holes cut in the metal here, and if you can see there's the pole there. I'd put the pole through this hole and the wire through that hole. So once I swapped them round about, no issues. Ramp goes up and down and everything's, all the wires are where they are, everything works perfectly now. So I have spoken to Tough Tile and they are happy with me to leave this ramp sitting on the tiles and for me to bolt it down. I had planned on leaving it loose, but there's just a little bit too much movement in it for my liking. And I'm happy where the ramp is, with the position of it now, so I'm just going to fire the bolts down and that'll be it. And we can start getting the cars in and see how it looks. So we're nearly there. Problem is, these are, sorry for the laser there, these are 18mm holes I believe we need to drill. It says 18 on them somewhere, M18, and I don't have an 18mm drill bit, so I'll need to get one tomorrow, and tomorrow night we'll get back at it. And it is complete. So that went well. You probably see me in that little time lapse there. I was drilling these bolts here and I put some epoxy resin in them, and I realised that once I did that I couldn't chap the bolts down to full depth, so I never really put any epoxy in the rest of them, just got them all chapped down and tightened up. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. Putting the bolts in does stiffen up quite a bit and obviously keeps it a bit more secure. So it was quite easy to adjust. There's some nuts and bolts and stuff up there, so you can adjust the level quite easy, and then you can adjust where your locking points are and tension in the wires and stuff. So all pretty straightforward. It probably took me, let me think, I probably was out here for an hour or a couple of hours every other night. Probably took me about 8 hours in total. If I was doing it again, I'll probably do it in about 4 hours, because I know where everything goes. I was kind of double and triple checking everything. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Only one thing left to do is get the cars in and make sure my measurements are right. So here we go.
I just wanna dance and lose control. Get me to London or Tokyo. lost within the clouds. My body feels the pulse. My feet are saying round and round we go.
She's in, and I'm not gonna lie, I was paranoid. So yeah, plenty of room underneath for another. I'm pretty sure I can lower it down a set of locks. But oh my god, it's just paranoid sitting up there. Nice little fit though. Right, let's get the other Nismo in. I am over the moon. A few squeaky bum moments bringing them in, but I'm really pleased with how much space we've actually got left round about it. The silver Nismo could actually go back a little bit as well. So I don't think I'll ever use this space here, so I could probably bring that back a bit. But again, plenty of space at the front as well. I'm used titanium, I love it. So yeah, plenty of space to walk around about. I can even get the door fully open at the other side. As I said in an earlier video, I've got some cabinets here that I might put against the wall. But yeah, the measurements all worked out perfectly. This ramp can actually come down another lock, so I've put some marks here, just where so I'm moving it up, I can see exactly where it needs to be, but it can come down a lock and still have plenty of room there. But thank you very much guys for watching all the videos for the garage build. We will come back to it in the summertime when we're doing the outside, but I'm very happy how the inside turned out. I'm glad it all came together, and I hope you've enjoyed the videos. So this now means that the main garage has got quite a bit of space in it because there's 2 cars not in it, and I've actually got a new project car coming which I'll show you in the next video. And I've got a few little things to do, carbon fibre work and other bits and bobs to do for some people that want some parts. But yeah, mainly we're going on to another build, which is a kind of quick build, but it's going to take the place of this car. This car is up for sale, so if anyone's looking for a V3 Nismo, 2007, 36,000 miles. It's a JDM import because we didn't get them in here in the UK. It's an automatic, so there is now, I think there's 4 these cars in. There's only 1 automatic, which is this one. Yeah, up for sale because it needs to go now. I've got another car here that's going to take its place. But yeah, thank you very much guys for watching the garage build episodes, and I'd like to thank Tough Tile. Brendan at Tough Tile has been great, and this isn't sponsored. I did buy them full price, and also equipmentforgarages.com. I think I'll put a link in. It was them that supplied the ramp, and it was easy to fit. Constructions, a couple of little bits with the electrical side of stuff on instructions, but everything else absolutely perfect. So thank you very much guys. Stay tuned for the next episode with a new car. Till then, thank you very much.